What is up, everybody? This is Nerding Out Sports, and today we are talking about yet another New York Giants loss. We're 0-5 following the 37-34 loss to the Dallas Cowboys. But before I do get into the recap, I want to wish nothing but the best for Dak Prescott. I do believe he already had the surgery after the game, so that's great to hear. Wishing him a speedy recovery. Hope to see him on the field as soon as possible, whenever he is ready to come back. I hope to see him back out there, and I hope to see him out there with the Cowboys so I can complain when he beats us some more. But it was just a gruesome injury to see. You never want to see anybody go down with an injury, especially one like that. And I think I speak for the vast majority of NFL fans out there, because there were a few idiots out there who seemed to be celebrating this injury, and it was disgusting to see some of the people's reaction to this, that they were happy about it. But I do think I speak for the vast majority of NFL fans when I say get well soon, Dak, and we hope to see him on the field again as soon as possible. Now, going back to this game, it's another example of the Giants beating themselves. A lot of people want to talk about the referees and how bad they were, and rightfully so. The referees sucked. They were really bad yesterday. The Giants had 8 penalties. Dallas had 3. They called back a beautiful fake field goal or fake punt that would have been a touchdown. Instead, they call it an illegal shift. They took back a touchdown on a phantom pass interference call. They called offensive pass interference, but clearly, I believe it was Damian Ratley that was just running his route, and they called it like it was a pick play in basketball. It was called offensive pass interference. It was a terrible call, and it took a touchdown off the board for us. So, yeah, referees sucked, but even with that, and then, of course, on the last drive, the non-call on the Cowboys, that was clearly a holding call. Referee has his hand in his pocket getting ready to throw the flag, and he doesn't do it. So, it is what it is with that. But even with that bad refereeing, the Giants should have won this game. So let's not blame the refs. Let's blame the Giants for getting in their own way once again. Good teams find a way to win these games. Bad teams find a way to lose. And the Giants found a way to lose. Because this game got off to as good of a start as you can imagine. The Cowboys were driving on the first drive of the game. Giants hold them to 3. Okay, that's a good sign. Giants go right down the field and score a touchdown. Best drive of the season. They were using motion. We've never seen them use motion like this all season. They were using Evan Ingram as a decoy. He had a rushing touchdown. Daniel Jones looked good. They were using Freeman. The offense looked fantastic on that first drive. Then they get the interception from Fackrell. It's 14-3. Then it's 17-3. And then, just like that, it's 17-10. And then the Jones fumble happens, and a lot of people are going to blame Daniel Jones for that. But if you look at the play, Andrew Thomas got blown up. And Jones got smacked from his blind side. No quarterback is holding on to that football. We've seen it. Giants fans, we've seen that same play in that same stadium year after year, from back when it was DeMarcus Ware to now it's DeMarcus Lawrence. We've seen it. We've seen it all too often. So before you start saying tank for Trevor, here we go again, just know that there are very few quarterbacks that are going to hold on to that ball. Maybe none. When they get hit the way that Jones got hit from his blind side right there. And I know there are people out there that are starting to sour on Andrew Thomas. I'm not on that train either. I knew he was going to struggle because of the offseason being weird, and because he's continuing to go against really good competition week after week. We've seen some good. We've seen some not so good. We've seen some genuinely bad from Andrew Thomas this year. That play was genuinely bad. Anyway, it's 17-7. Giants get the field goal that would have been the fake field goal instead of it being 24-17. I think I said it was 7-7. It was 17-17. We would have had the fake field goal for a touchdown. Instead, it's 20-17. And then in 30 seconds, Dallas goes right down the field and scores at the end of the half. In 30 seconds. Where was the defense yesterday? CeeDee Lamb torched us. Anyway, it's 24-20 going into the half. Giants cut the lead to 1, and that next drive, I believe, or later in the third, is when Dak got hurt. And then Dalton comes in, and they score a touchdown anyway. Giants eventually get a field goal. It's 31-26. They force the fumble. They score a touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion. We're up 34-31, and the defense lets Dallas go down the field and answer with the field goal. Once again, where was the defense yesterday? I get Dallas's offense is good, but they were missing their quarterback. You let Andy Dalton torch you there. They couldn't stop anything yesterday. Whether it was Ezekiel Elliott or it was Pollard or Andy Dalton, it didn't matter. The defense, the only player that had a good day yesterday, or players on the defense, were Bradbury, because he kept Cooper out of this game, and Kyler Fackrell. That's it. The rest of the defense, nowhere to be found. I mean, Dalvin Tomlinson had a sack, but the defensive line was not nearly as good as they had been in the previous game. The entire defense in general. Anyway, it's 34-34 with 2 minutes left, and Daniel Jones, and this drive again is going to bring those tank for Trevor talks back out there. Giants can't score. But then there's 50 seconds or so, and Dallas goes right down the field and wins the game. And yeah, on that drive, there should have been a holding call. That wasn't a holding call, but he went right down the field again. Would that call have changed the game? Maybe, maybe not. It should have been called, though, that's for sure. It definitely should have been called, but it wasn't. Anyway, the Giants lost the game. Another game this year. We're not even talking about the past, because the Giants have lost games like this all the time. But this year, it's definitely, in my opinion, for sure the second game that we should have won. I think we should have won that Bears game, but they couldn't get out of their own way. And I thought we should have won this game. Even last week, it's a game that we could have won against Los Angeles. So that's now 3 games the Giants could not stop beating themselves in. And the offense finally has a solid day overall because, even though Graham Gano had 4 field goals, again, they scored the most points we've seen them score all year, even if you take away the Fackrell touchdown. But despite the refs, despite the Jones fumble, despite the bad offensive line play, Nick Gates needs to go. I'm done with him. Despite the bad defense, the Giants had a chance to win this game. And they could not do it. The offense plays well, the defense didn't. Last week, the defense played well, the offense didn't. I'm not souring on Joe Judge. I still think he's doing a lot of good things for this team. And the Giants are just a bad team right now. And you're going to see bad teams lose these kind of games. But this is a game they should have won. And it sucks that they didn't win it. But we're 0-5. Looking at some of the stats yesterday, Jones didn't play great. He didn't play terribly. But he had only 222 yards, no touchdowns once again, no interceptions, but he did have that fumble that, again, that fumble happens to pretty much every quarterback with the way he got hit. You have to block better for him there. They finally used Devonta Freeman. The last 2 weeks now, they've used Freeman to his strengths, which is nice. He ran the ball well for 60 yards and a score. He also had like 24, 25 yards receiving. So again, they're using Freeman very well. Darius Slayton had a huge day, 129 yards. Graham Gano, like I said, he was perfect. Graham Gano is our best player. He's our best player offensively. Even though he's special teams, he's our best scorer. if you have Graham Gano in fantasy football, you're loving it. But I don't know where the defense was, though. I mean, Evan Ingram only had, one reception, but they were using him as kind of like a decoy. You know, it was weird. He only had 1 reception and 2 targets all day, but I felt like this was Evan Ingram's best game. Maybe that makes me sound crazy, but I don't know. Just watching it, it seemed like Ingram was moving around. The Giants were using so much motion, by the way. And I think that's why the offense, maybe it was just the fact that Dallas's defense is not good. So we'll see if they have the same kind of production next week against Washington. That remains to be seen, though. But yeah, I feel like Ingram, even though he was only involved in the rushing touchdown on the first drive and he had 1 reception, I feel like you really can't say much about Evan Ingram yesterday. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sounding crazy. Maybe the fact that the Giants are not winning games and I'm turning into a lunatic. I don't know. But yeah, the Cowboys offensively, they move the ball at will. After that first quarter, they just moved the ball right down the field. Dak, before he got hurt, was 14 of 21 for 166 yards, and he had the pick, but he was starting to get going before he went down. And then Dalton took over, and he had the fumble, but he was still 9 of 11 for 111 yards. Zeke ran it easily for 2 touchdowns. He had 91 yards. Like I said, CeeDee Lamb torched us. Michael Gallup torched us on that last drive. The only player on Dallas' offense that just did not come out to play because he couldn't was Amari Cooper because Bradbury locked him down. So at least the Giants know they have a shutdown corner in James Bradbury because he's been doing it all year. But the secondary needs some help. We knew this. They played really well last week. But today they could not stop CeeDee Lamb to save their lives. Hopefully when Xavier McKinney is back, we'll see just a little bit better production where they can move more guys around so we're not seeing the struggles at cornerback too like we're seeing right now. But yeah, another game the Giants probably could have won, maybe even should have won, but lost. So we're 0-5. We'll see what happens next week when we play Washington. Hopefully we can beat them just to get that first win out of the way because they're not playing well either. But I'm not confident in this team right now. I know I want to stress patience, and I've said it so many times, and I knew there were games we're going to lose, and I just want to see progression. But yesterday we saw progression from the offense, but we saw regression from the defense. So this one sucked. And, yeah, like I said, we should have won, and we lost. We're 0-5. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will see you guys next time. Go Giants. Peace out.